Our next speaker comes from Italy. We've got with us Monica Sicca, laurea in chimica e dottorato in scienze chimiche. So the Dr. Monica Sicca, who works as assistant professor at the University of Perusa, Italy, she, as a scientist, is an expert in the fields of electrochemistry, inorganic chemistry, and materials chemistry, among other fields. Her research career started in 2007 and has a strong global impact that we can see as her papers are widely cited and have a strong H index. She is focused in the chemistry of materials, as I've said, in the synthesis and characterization of polycrystalline and nanocrystalline materials, development of innovative and low-cost synthetic methodologies, and a big so on. So applications, for example, for materials in electrochemical devices to produce electrical field is something that she is also working in. Now, currently, she's working in two projects which are called Encyclopedia of Membranes and Photochemistry, Photophysics, and Chromogenism in different microenvironments. So as you can see, we've got a high-level scientist with us who is also responsible of thematic issues in research papers and open journals. So she's today with us to talk about the topic ICT tools for a new resilient scientific community. Monica Sicca, it's a pleasure for us to be here with you today, and welcome.
Thank you very much for this nice presentation, and thank you for inviting me to attend this Congress. It's very nice, interesting, multidisciplinary, and many ideas I had from these conversations. Okay, I share my screen. Okay, can you see my presentation?
It's good.
Okay. Just a moment. Okay. So this is the topic of my presentation, ICT tools for a new resilient scientific community. And okay, this is my professional background, but I think that it's not necessary because many other things this is enough was saying about me. Okay, I would start my presentation with this picture got during the 5th Solvay conferences on in 1927 on electrons and photons. This is a very famous picture, and all of us can recognize at least two famous scientists, Albert Einstein and Marie Curie. The only woman in this picture and the only scientist who won 2 Nobel Prizes in physics and chemistry. This is a symbol for me because this conference changed not only the way to do science and to see the world, but also contributed significantly to the progress and to all that we can use now, computers, cellulars, TV, and so on. This is a symbol also of one way to make science. So through conferences, congresses, workshops, symposiums, and so on, scientists like to meet each other face to face, to exchange ideas, to communicate the results of their research, and this is the way of disseminate results until the pandemic, I think. And so this is a short history of the story of scientific communities which were founded in the 17th century and were fundamental for organizing the communication of information. However, for many years, the diffusion of scientific information was limited to elite groups, and while the most part of the citizens were excluded from them. But the use of internet and digital communication systems allowed to many people to have access to science and scientific data and information, scientific information, and so on. And so the scientific culture was reached a global connection. And today, the pandemic has, in my opinion, highlighted the importance of IC tools for the scientists that live in condition of social distancing, and strengthened the use of scientific platform and networks. Well, I am an experimental researcher, and I need to stay in lab to make experiments for my work. So ICT tools are useful for to diffuse scientific information, but there are many things that are not possible through internet or other technologies. So many scientists again need to stay in lab and make experiments, and so pandemic is a great problem for many of us. However, we can use other sources to reduce the impact of pandemic, and ICT tools are undoubtedly fundamental. And I think that scientific research and ICT tools are in a circular relationship, because ICT tools are the result of a scientific research, but at the same time, ICT tools are an instrument, a tool used by scientific research. And in my work, ICT tools are used mainly in making and disseminating research and the results of research, and also in educational. And in this presentation, I would like to highlight the use of ICT tools in making and disseminating research. Well, the question I would propose you is how does science works? Well, these are the main points on that scientists should consider when they start a new project, a new work. First of all, we need an idea, and then we need to compare our idea with what has been already done. So we need to a bibliographic research on the state of the art dealing with our idea. And then we need to planning experiments, to do experiments, to collect data and process them. And then when the data are organized, we are ready to publish. And so we can publish the results in journals and scientific journals. And then we can continue to share our results. Well, so let's start from the idea and the need of a bibliographic research on the state of the art to understand how our idea, if our idea is good, if it's a novel idea, if it can contribute to go further in the research. And scientists can use many academic search engines to see, to read, to have information on bibliographic data. And classical academic search engines like Web of Science and Scopus are paid database, while Google Scholar and others can be accessed free of charge. And in my experience, I mainly use Google Scholar for my research. And because Google Scholar allowed us to see, to read many articles, up to 200 million of articles. We can see, we can read the abstracts of these articles. We can have link to full text, and we can also export the papers in several formats. And we have also the possibility to do an advanced search, so we can choose keywords for our research. We can choose the author, or also the time range in which we can find our research. For example, I selected these keywords: impact of COVID-19 on science, and I found many results. And among these results, you can see the title of the articles, the authors, the journal, and other information. And you can also see the articles. I choose these articles, areas of academic research with the impact of COVID-19, and you can see the articles from the American Journal of Emergency Medicine. And yes, you should have a subscription to many journals, for example, to this. But if your institution has a subscription, you can download the PDF and you can read the articles and use as you want. And then when you are ready to publish the results of your research, you have to choose a journal which is suitable for your work. And this is today the procedure to submit the articles is totally online. You have the possibility, as I said, to choose the journal. You can choose journals with subscription, or open access journal, or article processing charge journals. In these two situations, all readers with an internet connection can see your articles and read them. And while for in the first case, you need a subscription, so you have to pay. And I frequently use open access journal for my publications, and also article processing charge journals. And the advantage is that your research is more visible, and so is also more useful. And when you choose you have chosen your journal, you have to sign up to the publishing portal and submit the manuscript after checking the guidelines for the manuscript preparation. And then the manuscript is underwent a peer review. So other scientists should evaluate if your article is suitable for publication, both in quality and in originality. And if the peer review phase is okay, you have to revise your manuscript and you have to modify your manuscript according to the reviewers' comments. And then there is all scientists hope that the acceptance of the articles. So there is the phase of the proof correction, and also this step is supported by e-tools, because you can use many instruments, many e-tools to correct your proof. And finally, the goal of each scientist is to share the results of his or her research. And as I found in Nature Communications, sharing data is not only a way to improve the reproducibility and robustness of the science that is taking place today, but can drive a new science for tomorrow. There is a strong argument to be made that leaving data unshared is an impediment to the sciences of the future. So scientific data that are not shared, that are not published, don't exist, in fact. And how can share our results? We seem to publish in journals, but also to present at conferences, to present at universities, through popular media, and also by using free e-tools. I think that to present at conferences is one of the best way to share results and to exchange ideas with other researchers. But now we don't have this possibility to meet each other face to face. And yes, the internet is very useful in this phase, as we can see in this Congress. But I think that face to face is another thing for me. So let's see some free tools for sharing results. Again, Google Scholar, because Google Scholar allowed also to create a public author page. You can see in this page your information, your articles, your citation, and so on. It's easy to use and free to use. Mendeley is another tool, and it's useful for annotate and organize documents, to find and create groups with fellow researchers, but it's free with limited functionality. So if you want other functionalities, in advanced version of Mendeley, you have to pay. And I use also ResearchGate as a free tool, because I have the possibility to find the researchers, to see who is reading my work, and also I have the possibility to make questions and answer questions. So there is we can share articles and so on. So there is a strong connection between other researchers all over the world. Well, all of us knows that COVID-19 had negative effects on scientific community because of the closure of many scientific workplaces. And so there was the extension of the research time, and in some cases, so it was also, there was also the restarting of entire experiments. There was the reduction of scientific outputs and the reduction of international collaborative research. There was a decrease in budget due to funding redirection to meet costs of working remotely, and the cancellation of most scientific events, and also job losses, especially among the youngest researchers and scientists. And also, I also found in an article that there is a difference between male and female scientists, because the female reported fewer productive hours. So the fact that females have to do homeworking or have children and so on, represented another problem for their scientific work. But as Albert Einstein said, in the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. So all researchers should to face novel challenges in a novel way and to learn to strengthen scientific communication. And as you can see, the pandemic as the effect to develop a new way to work in science. So, for example, dedicate to long pending work, analyze data, write thesis or research articles, because if a researcher cannot stay in the lab or make experiments, he or she have to dedicate his time to do other works, and replace face-to-face meeting with online events or audio video conferencing or WhatsApp groups for discussion. And researchers and the research world have to develop new learning modules by discussion through emails, online forums, or conducting online classes from home through internet facilities, and conducting also virtual labs through online videos or other supplying materials. So ICT tools strongly affected science in the 21st century and gave the possibility to an increasing number of people to get access to the results of research, improved collaborations and the exchange of ideas, and also supported scientists during period of social distancing. But let me say the last thing. I think that it's also necessary that national governments must support science and scientists more efficiently than in the past. Because as Marie Curie said, nothing in life is to be feared. It is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more so that we may fear less. And as Alexandra Elbakian said also, that is a Russian researcher who developed a platform to get access to all articles in the world, published articles in the world. Scientific knowledge belongs to humanity. And so scientific knowledge belongs to all of us. And thank you for your attention.